Hey everybody, this is Positive Benzo Withdrawal, and I thought I would just make a video today in a bit of a wave, and I've been having some waves in the wave. I just had some ice water, and I'm knitting. I have a new knitting project. It's going to be a triangle scarf. It's a new pattern that I got. It's actually really easy, and it would be one of the easier things to start to learn. So maybe I'll link the video down below where you can learn how to do this if you are looking for some good distraction. This looks complicated, but it's not actually, and it will eventually be really big. So anyway, I decided I would make this video. I am coming up on, I'm almost 14 months off. And I started this YouTube channel when I was still on my taper, so I can't even believe that I'm making a video at 14 months off, because I honestly never even thought I would get off that stuff. And I've had pretty good last few months. I still do get symptoms here and there. I still get waves here and there. But the reason why I'm making this video today is because I'm currently in a wave, and it's not like the worst wave I've ever been in. I am having waves in the wave. And right now I just thought I would, kind of let you know about what happened and update you and things like that. So like I said, for the most part, I've been doing really, really well. And so I booked a trip up to see my dad up in Canada. I hadn't seen him in a long time, and I hadn't been able to travel in a long time because of withdrawal. And I thought, seize the day. I'm in a window. Let's do this. And of course, sometimes when I'm in a window, I think maybe I'm healed. So I'm sure there was a little bit of that as well. But so I went up there. I was sick before I even got up there. My kid brought a cold home, and so I started taking like immune boosting herbs. But I honestly don't know if maybe I was actually in a little bit of a wave. So I went up there, and I wasn't feeling great, and so I was able to see him a little bit, but I had to rest a lot. I also worked, and I saw clients over video when I was there. And then I got a burn. So I burned my arm on, literally it was the stupidest thing. I mean, it's crazy to think like something can happen in like an instant, but I was reaching over, there was a kettle, like one of those electric kettles. It was plugged in, it was steaming, and I reached over it to grab something, and it just like seared my skin. And so like 2 days into having this burn, I went into like a gnarly wave. I was at the store, and I could just feel it. It was like I felt it coming on. I was fine 1 minute. I had clients in the morning, and then I felt this like takedown, and I started getting super nauseous. I had already been having some burning. For a couple of days, I got super nauseous, and I had to tell my dad I have to go rest. And I mean, fortunately, he knows about all this stuff. He knows what I've been going through the last couple of years. So it's like, here you go, Dad. Now you can see it live in action. So I had to leave to fly back, and y'all, it was the most insane day of like one of the most insane days of my life. Was trying to get back from Canada to the States, 2 airplanes. The first airplane had like ridiculous turbulence, so bad that the flight attendant, fell into me. I got off that plane. I was already nauseous and sick. I was already in a bad wave. I was like triple, quadruple times worse than when I first got on. And I'm like walking around the airport like there's no way in hell. Like what am I going to do? I can't get on an airplane. I'm so sick. And I went and sat down, and I was like, okay, wait a minute. So like, here's your choices. You get on the next plane, because I had to take a connecting flight, and you use all of your coping tools, like every single coping tool that you have ever used. Or you go to a hotel room and you lie in total misery in a hotel room. Like it's basically the same thing, except for at the end of the plane, you will be at home. So I was like, fine. So I literally just did like one foot in front of the other. I mean, it was like walking like, like one foot in front of the other. I got through the first security checkpoint. I got to customs. Customs was a nightmare. And it was so bad at customs that it was actually distracting. Like I kind of got out of myself because of like insanity at customs, because American customs is like really ridiculous. Of course, coming into Canada was like a total breeze. It was like, hey, welcome to Canada. You know, like 10 minutes through customs, no problem. Nobody cares about Canada. Clearly I can't speak. So anyway, yeah, that second plane ride, y'all, it was so intense. I had my iPad, and I was able to get an email that I get Melissa's daily emails, and for some reason this was the only thing that could come up because the Wi-Fi was like pretty much, was non-existent. But I guess it had preloaded, so I'm like knitting, and I had a different knitting project with me, which was just literally like a little bit of yarn and some needles, because when I left to go, I was in a window. I didn't think I was going to need to bring any knitting, but fortunately I was like, the last minute a voice said to me, bring your knitting, you never know. So I bring the knitting, and I'm like, okay, now's the time. I take it out of my bag, and I'm like, I'm just like doing this, and I'm reading Melissa's email like over and over and over and over and over. And on the plane, there's a emergency. Like some passenger is like having an emergency, and they had to call for a doctor on the airplane. And so I'm just like, okay, well, that's not you. You have some crazy coping skills. Like that person behind you is probably has fear of flying and hasn't learned through 2 years of benzo withdrawal, like how to get through like insanity, right? So, I mean, who knows? Maybe they had a different thing going on. But so I'm like, knitting and praying and literally praying to God, like, take me now or let me live. Like, it's up to you. Like, my life is in your hands. And so I got back. I'm still like so sick, like nauseous, like the worst nausea, just like I hadn't been able to eat all day. I had like nothing to eat. I was so sick. And this could have all been brought on by the fact that I had sushi up there, and I haven't eaten sushi in like 2 years. And then I had a tuna fish sandwich on like gluten-free bread, and I don't eat that kind of food normally. I don't know what brought it on, but and then the burn and the stress and like being with dad who's old, and just a lot of stress. And so my partner picks me up from the airport, and I'm like, look, we need to go to urgent care, because meanwhile, like my health anxiety had kicked in, and I'm like, well, maybe this burn is like infected and it's going systemic. So if anybody has health anxiety and benzo withdrawal, I'm with you. Okay. I have had that. I have been crazy. Like I thought I had dents in my head. I mean, insane shit, So we're like, okay, so we get to urgent care, and it was like a miracle. And I was in and out in 30 minutes. She takes one look at it, totally fine. You're okay. I'm like, take my temperature, because I thought I was getting a temperature. Anyway, I was fine, and I go home, and it's been 2 days, and I know I seem like I'm okay and I'm like animated and I have energy and all that, but let me tell you, I have symptoms that make me nervous because I've pushed past symptoms in the past, and the wave just only gets worse. So, like nausea, I'm still not eating. My gut is just all benzo belly nasty. I'm having like a little bit of just like benzo flu symptoms. Like I feel, like, I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but I just kind of feel like not right. And I'm still dizzy. I don't even want to go outside. I need to go shopping. And I'm like, no, that's cool. Like, I'm not even going to go shopping. Like, we need toilet paper. And I'm like, we can use Kleenex. And there might be a time later on today where I feel like I can get out of the house. But to be honest, you guys, I just, when I start feeling like this and I start to feel like this level of wave, it's like batten down the hatches, like don't go over your own limit. Like my threshold, I've already reached my threshold. I passed my threshold. And now I need to just relax. So I'm distracting, I'm knitting, I'm watching The Office, I'm drinking lots of ice water because like ice cools down the body and it gets you into parasympathetic nervous system. I'm eating like just some yogurt, and I had a handful of peanuts, and I had a smoothie this morning with chia seeds, some hemp protein, which is like my fiber drink, and some blueberries, frozen blueberries, with coconut milk and a little bit of almond milk, and that's it. And that's like, I might have some soup later today, and that's it. Just trying to be easy with my digestion. And so that's how I'm doing. So I wanted to let you all know. I know it's like a crazy long story. I'd love to hear from you. It's been a long time since I did a video, and I'd love to hear from you. And I should say that like I'm doing a lot better than I was this time last year. So I'm sure this time next year I'll be doing even better. So peace, and update me on your progress. All right, y'all. And guess what? We do heal. We do heal. Okay, bye.